Right, okay, so we're going to get started. We're going to do 2 Panda cakes to start with. I'm going to do enough for what would be considered to be 3 slabs, 3 of our normal slabs, which is 12 portions. So this is using the recipe that we use when we're doing the bulk. So we do the sort of like the big trays. So I've had to factor it down just for a couple of slabs. Now these cakes are now nut-free. We're not a nut-free environment, but they don't contain almonds anymore, so they are much lighter. So the only dry ingredients, 3 dry ingredients are Panda Flour, baking powder and sweetener. Bear in mind I'm going to make the equivalent of 12 small cakes. So 12, where's the tray? 12, you know, little muffin cakes. It's only using 65 grams of flour. Okay, so 65 grams of this to start with. So Panda Flour is just a combination of bamboo fibre, coconut flour and psyllium husk. It's super absorbent. It's pretty odourless, tasteless. There's a slight hint of coconut, not huge. That's 65 grams. This is quite a big bowl. You can sort of see how much is in there for just 65 grams. If that was standard flour, it would be barely 3 tablespoons. You can use your preferred sweetener, whether it's the stevia erythritol blend, whether it's xylitol, whether it's the monk fruit erythritol blend, so whichever sweetener you're using. Don't forget the baking powder, otherwise it becomes a wonky cake. Even if you do forget your baking powder, it might not rise, but it'll still be edible. We use olive oil when we bake our cakes. You can use any of the fats. So if you want to use olive oil, if you want to use butter, then entirely up to you. I'm going to melt the butter though, so I need 93 grams. Again, this is for 12 cakes, don't forget. So you're going to melt it, just don't overdo it. You don't want it bubbling hot, you just want it melted. I'm a little bit over on the egg there. I'm not really going to worry about it. It's like 11 grams over. That's going to be fine. Sort of like 4.5 eggs. 150 grams of sour cream. Now, you can swap the sour cream for alternative dairies. We've actually tried this with yogurt. It would work with creme fraiche as well. We found that the best rise, the most stable cake, comes from sour cream. Right, I've got my melted butter. That's going to go in. I'm just going to get whisked in. And the only other thing to add to this now, as a plain cake, is a bit of vanilla extract. So, combine the 2 together. The whisk won't last long. It's going to be too thick for this in a second, but it's helping get it mixed in. Right, so it just smells like, and this is effectively a Victoria sponge mix right now. So get in there and make sure it is fully combined. Okay, so I'm going to divide this into 2 because I'm going to make a lemon cake instead of a chocolate cake. So you can see how thick it is. And obviously there are no other thickening agents in here. That's all from, that is from 65 grams of Panda Flour. It weighs 700 grams in total. So less than 10% of the entire ingredients is the flour. But that's what's holding it all together right now and what will help with the structure of the cake. So 350 grams per cake. Lemons, nice and straightforward. It's going to be lemon juice. A little bit of lemon zest. Per cake, so this is 1.5 cakes worth in here, we'd normally go sort of like 10 to 12 grams of peel. That worked out, I think it's like 11 grams there. I mean, I'm not really going to stress too much, and it depends how lemony you want it as well. Do you want it very lemony or not that lemony? It's quite juicy. Obviously we've added a little bit more liquid. It's going to make it a little bit looser, but you can still see it's a nice firm batter. So we had about 380 grams there. 380 grams divided by 6. So I've just lined the bottom, just to make sure it doesn't stick, but it should be okay. It's an easy way of making sure your cake is level, alright? You don't need to be trying to spread it around the edges. Just drop it. Right, I'll pop that one in because it'll probably be ready before we even get the chocolate cake. Right, chocolate. We've got the vanilla in there. We've obviously we're going to put some cocoa powder in. We're going to add a little bit more liquid because the cocoa powder is absorbent and it will suck up any moisture that's left in there. So the 6 muffins, 23 grams of cocoa powder. So as I start to sort of combine this together now, it's essentially drying out really quickly. So we need an extra bit of moisture. Now it's up to you, you can just go with a little bit of water, because we can. I'm going to add a little bit of cream. We're just going to give that there you go. So it's just going to loosen it up again. So we've now got that back to a batter rather than something that was quite stodgy. Looks like we're going to get maybe 8 to 10 out of these with this size, which will be fabulous. Alright, I'm going to get 50 grams in. So bearing in mind the extra liquid I've put in, actually we're going to get at least 8 of these out. So I've got 6 out, I've definitely got enough mix for 2 more. Same trick. Nice and flat. Knocks any air out as well. I think they might need to be cooled a little bit. These silicone cases are not the best. You can see how much they've risen. They had 50 grams of mix go inside them.